down picket lines and stirring things up. Because without that activism at the local level, we're not going to bring about any change at the national level. And the reason that I'm particularly appreciative of Reverend Sharpton's building this organization and recognizing the change comes from the bottom up is because that's how I've lived my life. That has been the principle around which I have entered into politics. Some of y'all don't know that I actually used to live in New York City. I didn't know a soul. And for the next 3 years, I worked with these churches to set up job training programs for the unemployed and after-school programs for youth and try to bring city services in the communities that have been neglected. And I've always said to people that was the best education that I ever had. Because what it taught me was that ordinary people can do extraordinary things.
That's right.
When they're given an opportunity to shape the direction of their lives.
That's right.
The kind of coalition that all of you are trying to forge. But we are not going to be able to do it if we run politics as usual. That is something that I'm absolutely convinced about. If you are waiting for somebody to get elected to the White House and save you, it will not happen. It is only going to happen because all of us, millions of voices, decide we are going to save ourselves. That we're going to pull together. That we're going to organize. That we're going to mobilize. That we're going to march. And we're going to talk about these issues in a meaningful way. In the back about what happened in terms of Don Imus and the nonsense that has been spoken on the radio. Now, we can have the FCC and others talk about how we enforce the various laws to restrict statements that are made. But the fact is we've got a First Amendment. What we have to do is make sure that all of us are not supporting the degradation of our women. That we're not, I know that there's been a little contest between the rappers and Reverend Sharpton about what's appropriate and what's not. Let me say this. I haven't just singled out the rappers. I said I've heard those words around the kitchen table in some homes. I hear them in the barber shop. I hear them on the basketball court. We all know that all of us have been complicit in diminishing ourselves and engaging in the kind of self-hatred that keeps our young women and our young men dazzled to imagine something better. That's how it has happened each and every time. That's how this country started, because a group of patriots decided we're going to start a new kind of government other than by and for the people. And we don't believe in taxation without representation. That's how we got rid of the scourge of slavery, because a group of abolitionists decided to stand together and said to themselves, you know what, we do not believe that it is appropriate to have a Declaration of Independence saying all men is created equal at the same time as we've got our fellow men and fellow women in chains and shackles. That's how women decided that they were going to get the right to vote. I know one day a woman was sitting across the kitchen table, and she looked at her husband and she said to herself, you know what, I'm smarter than him. I don't know why he's got the right to vote. I'm going to... And she started talking to her friends, and they all started marching and organizing and mobilizing until women got the right to vote and became full partners.